Gail is the LD18 Pantano territory lead and precinct committee person for precinct 69. And earlier this year, 2024, Gail was inducted into the Arizona Democratic Party Hall of Fame. And we're very proud of her and thankful for all of her efforts. And Gail is going to help us tonight by clarifying the ballot propositions. Take it away.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Mallory. So the proposition questions are very simple. If you get right down to it, is yes on Prop 139, which is our reproductive freedom proposition, and no on everything else. All right, first are the two citizen initiatives. So the Prop 139, the Arizona for Abortion Access proposition, is the one that we want to get on. It's on the ballot and we get to vote on it now. We went through a lot to get it on the ballot and we were successful. So yes, please on that one. The other citizen initiative that actually made it onto the ballot is Prop 140, Make Elections Fair Arizona. This is the open primaries one. And this sounds like a good idea, but unfortunately it was so poorly drafted and it gives too much power to the legislature. The no vote on this is also recommended by the League of Women Voters and Civic Engagement Beyond Voting. So we have 11 legislative referrals. All legislative referrals are bad, even the few that may sound. Next, the first 6 are constitutional changes. Constitutional amendments are much harder to get rid of once they're in law. So Prop 133 would bar any future use of open primaries, which means if we actually get a decent citizen initiative about open primaries and ranked choice voting, this would preclude it. And if both of these should happen to pass by some weird chance, the one that gets the most votes wins. Next, Prop 134, also a constitutional amendment. This is really extreme and it's being done in other states. This would require us to get citizen signatures by a percentage of county from each county or each district rather. And in rural districts, this would make it impossible to get anything on the ballot. Next one. Prop 135. This is a little bit longer. I'll let people have a minute or two to read it. This would severely limit the governor's power in emergencies. It's just a part of a power grab that is a theme in a number of these legislative referrals. Power grab by the legislature. The governor needs that wiggle room on emergency declarations. This would endanger public safety and also risk federal funding for emergencies. Next one, Prop 136. This would allow anyone for any reason at any time to bring a lawsuit, even at initial stages of citizen initiatives. And this, of course, is only refers to citizen initiatives, not to legislative referrals. So again, recommending no on this one. Prop 137, this would grant life terms to Arizona Supreme Court judges, and it makes it retroactive to shield our friends Bullock and King, who said, yes, we should please be living in 1864. And this would shield the judiciary from any public accountability whatsoever. We are saying no to that. Prop 138 rolls back protections for tipped workers, and it is charmingly entitled something like the Tipped Workers Protection Amendment, which it is certainly not. It would really allow the restaurant owners and managers to cook the books, and this is backed by the restaurant lobby, so we know it's not good. Now we're into the statutory amendments, not constitutional proposals. They're not as permanent, but they're just as bad in terms of what they do. So Prop 311, this provides a death benefit for the families of first responders, which sounds very lovely, but it's duplicate of existing state and federal benefits that these families receive. And it's funded inadequately by penalizing defendants, just piling on the penalties that defendants have to pay. So again, no, please. Prop 112. This would give property owners a tax break if they bring a nuisance claim against the city or town. This is really targeted at the homeless, but noisy neighbors, people with their cars propped up in the driveway forever, anybody could bring a nuisance claim. And this could literally bankrupt cities and towns in our state. So we're saying no to that one as well. Prop 313 provides life without parole for child sex trafficking in all cases. Yes, everybody knows that people who sex traffic children are not nice people, but this is draconian in that victims are often forced to become traffickers themselves. And there was a recent case where a young woman was sentenced to 11 years in prison, and she had been a victim. So no, thank you on this one as well. Prop 314, this is SB 70 2.0. If anybody was around the last time we tried to make the state into a federal agency. This is unconstitutional. It'll cost the taxpayers a fortune to defend it, just as we did before with SB 1070. And it will fail. The federal government has exclusive jurisdiction over immigration, so there's no reason for us to be doing their business. And finally, Prop 315. Again, the theme is legislative overreach. Here, they want to basically be the oversight agency for executive regulatory agencies. The governor's office, the executive branch, is separate from the legislature, something they don't seem to understand. And this would allow them to, roll back any manner of legislation, of rulemaking. Oh, and the one exemption is the Arizona Corporation Commission, which they seem to love since it's a utility lapdog. Well, we want to change that. At lightning speed, that's it for the proposition. So just tell everybody to just say no to everything except Prop 139.